Alright. So, first can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
So, today's debate is about extracurricular activities. Our side is explaining why it's good.
And our side is against extracurricular activities.
So I guess we'll start us off. I think that okay, whatever.
Okay, Roshni, start.
So the first point I have is I think that these kids' extracurricular activities lets the kid express their freedom.
Well, sometimes your parents choose what you do, so you don't always have the freedom to choose.
The thing is, we've all had a parent who seemed a bit restrictive on their free time. We're not yet. So I think I can honestly say that a lot of times people go overboard. Oh, the excuses, many excuses. Oh, my kid, insert name here, likes to do it. She wants to go to cooking class, soccer, dancing, gymnastics, and basketball because she likes them all and she wants that time.
And I totally didn't force them to do it.
Yeah. So I think a lot of the times the parents choose the activities, whether it be competing with other parents, trying to make their kid get the opportunities that they missed out on because that's something that happened in their childhood, or because they wanted to go on their college resume.
Okay, but sometimes those activities can be really good for the kid. Like a lot of extracurricular activities can help you develop professional skills like debating or group discussion or public speaking, for example. A lot of kids don't want to do that. A lot of kids are like, I'm so scared to get on stage. I don't want to do it. I don't want to talk with other people, whatever. But their parents make them do it. And honestly, usually at the end, like for example me, I didn't really want to do this class at first, if I'm going to be honest. But my mom's like, just try it. I mean, she gave me a choice. And I'm like, okay, I'll try it. And I've actually really enjoyed this class. And I've learned how to debate and how to continue a discussion. So I feel like parents, like sometimes when your parents give you that push, that's what pushes you to do great things.
However, sometimes it can affect your academic performance negatively because you have less time for sleep and homework. And as you have more extracurricular activities to worry about, you start worrying more about them. Oh, I have basketball, you have to win the game, or instead of worrying about your homework and your grades.
This is where time management comes in, because you have to be able to control your time. Like, yes, I agree, sometimes parents put too much on us and we're just kind of completely overloaded and we have no time to do what we want, but eventually, like Samantha said, it will benefit us, and we just have to learn to schedule our time accordingly and make sure that we get our things done and then we do have enough time for sleep. I'm sure for anyone, we all have a ton of homework, and then we have for some people we might have a sport or a club or something to do after, but you should focus on making sure you do your homework, maybe if you have a free period, do your homework, then when you go to your sport, make sure to focus on that, and then later on when you need to still do homework, manage your time like that. Don't just procrastinate and just sit on your bed thinking to yourself, I'm never going to get this done.
And if you think of it in this way, for example, if I'm going to tell the truth, I spend a lot of time on my phone, okay, and I watch TV a lot. But I think extracurriculars, whenever I do extracurriculars, I agree too much is not good and it'll really affect your grades and stuff. But extracurriculars can be a way to get you off your phone, get you off your TV, get you moving.
Biology, we're practically twitching with impatience.
Yeah, so according to what you said about, about resumes, and good thing it goes on your resume, because then the college will know your interests or what you like, and there might be a better chance of getting into it.
I agree that definitely should not be a reason why you're doing an extracurricular so you can get into college, but it is a pro of doing extracurriculars.
Can we include Roshni and Myra? They're both twitching. So Roshni and then Myra, please.
A moment. Myra, sometimes your parents do sign you up for a sport, and then you don't know, and then like you have one day, and you didn't know for like the whole week, and then it's gonna start, and then like the day she tells you that you're starting it, and you're like, no, I don't want to do this.
And extracurricular, oh wait, yeah.
That's okay, go ahead.
No, do you have something to say?
Yeah. To read this point, it can also help you take a break from your academics, and so you have time to do it after too.
Maybe it might give you improvement on your academics, like if you're in a math club or something, to improve your math skills.
Yes, but they also have a cutoff for that so-called math club.
Well, that's the difference between a math team and a math club.
Raghu?
So, when people think extracurriculars, they think, okay, you're gonna take it every day for 3 hours after school for the next 4 years. Now, generally, that is pretty bad because first you have school, then you have after school activities, then you have all that homework to do. And in the end, you're getting all that on your resume, but you don't have any time for yourself. You don't have any downtime. Now, I know that most of us spend our downtime on social media, but that's what makes us happy. That's what makes us like, not exactly keep going, but it gives us a little bit of happiness between our hard classes and our hard activities. And when you have like all those activities, maybe you don't like them. And then you don't have any downtime, and then you don't have any happiness. You're just trudging through life like in a cycle.
Okay, so first of all, if you don't like an extracurricular activity, you should definitely not be doing it, because I think instead of like, if someone really likes what they're doing, I think that's like their downtime. Like for example, if someone's doing a sport for 3 hours, that can be their downtime if they really like it. And I feel like if you don't like it, then why are you doing it? Do something different, do something you like.
Yeah, exactly. You should.
Sometimes you're kind of forced to do
When
it.
you don't like it, then you don't have to, then maybe you should.
Kind of what you just said. Yes, you might be forced to do it, but like if it's your parents that are forcing you, you can still talk to them. You can say, okay, I don't want to do this because I don't have time, I don't enjoy it, it's a waste of my time. I'm sure they're going to understand. They're not going to be like, no, you have to do this because I said so.
Maybe they.
You have to talk.
And usually they'll have a good reason behind it. Even if you don't see it then, you'll probably see it later in life. And if you really don't like it, then just tell them, like what Sam said, you shouldn't be doing anything you don't like. You should, and also I think that's more of a personal thing, like of you not being able to stick up to your parents.
Roman, you had something to say?
Oh yeah, I just wanted to agree with Vibo that everyone needs time to cool off, and when you have too many extracurricular activities, you don't necessarily have the time to cool off.
Also, if you don't have the time to, like since you said then they could like rush with homework and stuff, why'd you sign up for it if you didn't have enough time?
That teaches you time management, like we brought up before. Teaches you time management.
Chandrika, do you want to say something? Yeah.
And as Sam said about time management, for some activities you get to choose what time you want to do it so that you have time to do other things. Like if you want to do swimming at this time, then you have time to do another thing.
Yeah, maybe you could probably involve them on the weekend so that they can still have more time to do the things they want in case they are forced to do it. But the weekdays, if they like it, they probably will have some fun time.
If you have too many extracurricular activities, it really is really hard to manage the time between them, because you go to school, and after school you have basketball, you go home, oh no, in 5 minutes you have to go to lacrosse or something, then come back, you have to do something else, then come back, you have a little time for homework, and then you just go to sleep.
Well, then you're learning how to plan your week by putting certain extracurricular activities on certain days. So basically you're really able to prioritize and make a schedule.
Like I said before, again, why'd you sign up for it if you didn't have enough time?
We're all discussing how this impacts the child. What about the parent? I mean, they have their own lives too. Unless they really think you're into it or they really want you to do it. I mean, they want to catch up with their buddies down in the man cave or the woman cave. Can I set this here? And they want to call their friends, talk with them, go shopping, just interact with have a social life. But if they're constantly running around, driving you, bringing you back, and trying to drive to work and talk with your friends at the same time, I mean, how are you supposed to talk in the car with your boss about a project when your kid is just trying to get to lacrosse?
Well, that's what they signed up for when they had a kid. Children are the first priority, okay? I know that sounds really self-centered and selfish or whatever, but it's true, okay? They want to have their own lives, but they had children, so that should be their first priority. They should be taking care of their children above their own lives.
And you guys were saying that like your parents were like forcing you to do certain things, and I mean like if that's the case, then your parents would definitely take the time to drive you to the place. Like if they care so much enough to like push you into doing something, even if you like it or not, it's still their responsibility to drive you around until you can start driving yourself.
And even if you weren't forced to do it and you wanted to do it yourself, they'd probably also sign you up if they had the time to drop you and help you with it.
I agree with Sam and Roche. They're taking their own time for you so that you could do what you want.
It's
And
also the
you
matter
always
of,
have the week, in case you have every week, you always have the weekends when you can do it, and in case you have the extracurricular activity on the weekends, there's still plenty of time on weekends. So it doesn't occupy that much time.
there's also the matter of cost, because if you have one extracurricular activity, your parents might be able to afford it, but as you do more and more, the cost builds more and more, so then your parents might not be able to afford it, and they could use the money for something more helpful, like a mortgage or bills. And sometimes the kid just may really want to do an extracurricular activity, but it's just going to leave his parents broke, so he can't do it.
Then you'd like trade off or something like, okay, so say if your parent was forcing you to do something, but then you wanted to do something else, but the problem was money, you could talk to your parents and say, I don't want to do this because I'm not good at it, I don't like it, and I want to use that money for this sport or this extracurricular activity. And that way, they're not like wasting their money on something you don't enjoy, and they're putting their money towards something that's useful and that you or like anyone will actually enjoy, and maybe like, you know, it'll go on a college resume and you can be proud of it.
I also think that if money is a problem, then that can teach the kid to fend for themselves and be more independent. Because if they really want to do this, like they can try earning money on their own. They can walk dogs, they can babysit. I think that teaches kids like how to be independent.
I mean, that kind of supports child labor.
That's not
What do you think?
That would change it because if there's a time, there might be an age limit, and if you want to do like a sport at a certain time, there might be an age limit, so you might not be able to do it.
Adding on to
One
that,
can
actually,
do anything you like which is not past your age limit. And also maybe they could probably try to think of something keep that you like as well. Well, and eventually you will find something which you like and it's also cheap, and so that they won't be wasting money. In fact, they don't have to do it for that long of time. In case the one you like is expensive, maybe you could do it for a short term and they don't waste that much money.
The thing is, we all have a personal bias when we view the world. All our personal judgment, we hold everyone up to our standards of what we think it should be. These fine parents sitting around us, they've gone through so much to help us, bring us up, and who wants us to talk to them? I mean, they cared for us 24/7 when we were born. They made sure that we lived up until this point. I mean, who wants to say, I disagree with your judgment? I mean, they're the people that kept us alive, they fed us, they clothed us, they helped us when we needed problems, when everything was wrong. They came and said, okay, we're here for you, tell me the problem. So you say when you think that it's too much to tell your parents, but how are you supposed to? I mean, they did everything for you. It's kind of hard to stand up to them and say, I think you're wrong.
Okay, I agree with that, but no offense to any parents here, but it's still your life. It's still something that you have a say in. It's not, like, your parents do control you until you're technically 18, but you still have a say in what you want to do, because if you do something that you don't like, you're going to regret that you wasted your time on it, and then you're going to grow up and realize, okay, I just spent most of my childhood doing this stupid thing, and I could have done something better, and that could have benefited me. That could have benefited me, yeah.
hindsight is always 20/20. You think how it could have played out, how you could have made it better, but often it doesn't work. You couldn't have done anything, and it doesn't help.
And often your parents' judgment is much better than yours, because we're still growing, aren't we?
Okay, but do your parents know what you want to do? No, your parents can't read your mind. I'm sorry, your parents can't read your mind, okay? You know what you want to do, you do it, okay? Don't let anyone tell you what to do. Yeah, you can take your parents' advice, like, I think this would be good for you, but if you don't want to do it, it's all up to you in the end.
Sometimes you don't even know what your interests are. You have to discover yourself.
Exactly, and you do that. Why should you let someone else tell you what your interests are?
Because you don't know yet.
what to pick.
Yeah.
Because you,
Exactly, but then parents can force you, oh, like, I wish I danced as a child, but my mommy didn't let me.
that's what my
And
mom
then that's what
did.
they force you.
Or maybe the parents,
Dinner.
maybe the parents.
Instead of blindly choosing,
Maybe the parents want you to do extracurricular activity for a certain reason. Maybe it might, it's useful. Maybe it probably gets you to work with others, like teamwork, like this group discussion, this like debate and discussion, and it might improve your academics.
Okay, so I'm going to put some fairly solid numbers down. So say the average person spends until about 7 in school and in extracurriculars. Now, average high school homework per class is, in my school, about from 30 to 45 minutes per class. Now, I multiplied that, did some math, and that came out to about, what, 150 to 225-ish minutes a night. Now, that comes out to, I'm not going to do the actual math, but that's around 2 to 4 hours. And if you add that to 7 o'clock, that brings you from like 9 to 11. Now 11 is really late. And considering that happens like almost every day, that's gonna cut into your sleep schedule. And that's gonna lead to some pretty serious health problems.
And that's kind of like sacrifice, right? You have to sacrifice some of your time because you want to do well. And having these extracurricular activities, it's important for you. I mean, that's why we have the weekends. We don't have school on the weekends. Sleep in for a little while, and like get your rest back. Like even if you have a class or like whatever in the morning, go to it, come back. I'm sure you'll have like some sort of time, and you can just rest then.
but at this point in our life cycle, sleep is essential because we're growing and we need like 9 to 11 hours of sleep.
And you just think their sleep hours are just like bank deposits. You don't have any, deposit more. But your sleep schedule, when you feel tired, when your body wants you to get up, then you can't change that. I mean, it'll take some years, yes, you can change it, but it's not enough time. You're going to be going to bed if you go to 11 and wake up at around 6 consistently, then when you try to fall asleep when you're working, you can't get to bed till 11, and you can't make yourself get up earlier or get up later.
But then you have like, okay, let's take college. Like, say you don't do any extracurriculars in college or whatever. You're still taking a lot of classes, and college is not going to be easy. You're going to stay up no matter what. And it's just what happens. Like the higher grade you get, you're gonna get more work. You're gonna have more homework to do. You're gonna have more classwork or whatever it is, or you're gonna have more tests and projects to do, and you're going to lose sleep. It just happens. Like as long as you're growing.
Which is why I'm supposed to put in more effort into academics than extracurriculars.
Okay, but that's your decision. If you want to take 50 extracurricular activities, that's your decision. That's what you decided to do. So why do you not do it?
So maybe you may not, maybe it's gonna depend. Maybe you should probably not take any extracurricular activity on a weekday. That's probably when you come home that day, probably about 6 or 7. Probably you come home about 3, 4, or 5. Yeah, that will give you a sufficient amount of time to spare. When you come a bit later, then that kind of then you probably will have to do a lot of homework and all that stuff, so it won't get enough sleep.
So if your parents are asleep and then you're still like doing all your homework and stuff,
Anyone else have that experience?
doing all your homework and
Where you have
stuff,
to,
and you don't want to disturb
Yes, one speaker, please.
you don't want to disturb your parents, so you don't want to turn on your like lights. So like you might get bad eyesight if you like work in the dark.
Aaron?
So like in your extracurricular, sometimes you have like homework, and that's like your homework plus your school homework, and sometimes you have to like stay up really late to like finish all of that, and that can really affect your health. At this time of age.
This has been brought up a lot throughout the debate already. Again, time management, it'll teach you time management. I mean, honestly, you can't, even though someone can tell you, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, but the only way you really learn is if you fall and you get up again, okay? You're gonna, like for example, if you do like 5 different extracurriculars and you're getting a lot of homework and you can't complete the homework and you get a 0, you know, that's how you learn. That's how you learn to manage your time.
Also, and maybe where I was, when I said, yeah, I kind of agree with him there. I have some personal experience, like for my extracurricular, sometimes I've kind of forgot to do the homework because of my school homework. Yeah.
Why
But maybe you could also put that in your planner as well, so that you can don't forget that. So that's maybe something I could try in the future.
So why get into this mess about time management if you could just avoid it and then never have to deal with it?
Joe, do you want to answer this question or like say anything at all?
Can you come back?
Yeah, sure.
The thing is about time management, people say, oh, it'll help you learn time management, it'll help you learn new skills. But that doesn't change the fact that it's still going to affect you, and maybe not for the better. Some points, yes, you'll get better time management, you can make up those lost hours of sleep, but still, you're not going to be able to function well. You can't just say, plop some stuff down and say, okay, start managing it, do your homework, pre-calc, algebra, all of that. And, you know, here, have some basketball, some tennis, some soccer. You like it? Have fun. Get it done.
Okay, since we've been talking about time management, I'm going to bring up a new point. So I feel like these extracurricular activities can build the child's confidence up. Like, let's start with public speaking, like that brought our confidence up, I'm guessing. Yeah. And like if you're playing a sport, you can learn to like deal with losing and stuff like that.
You can deal with losing, but it's going to be how do you deal with, you know, explaining it to your parent. You didn't, because often extracurricular activities become how do you perform. Did you make it into the All-State? Were you chosen? Or were you rejected? Did you finish all the math problems and got first place? Or did you get second place?
Okay, but why are you so worried about proving yourself to your parents? I get that you want parents to think, oh, my child's so smart, blah, blah, blah. But all that matters is that you tried your best.
You
And-
want to
Yeah, that
impress
does
them
matter.
still.
That like
And
I
like-
always start seeing when I take a test. Like you probably should put in the best you can for an extracurricular, and you'll be pretty good at it.
And you can't always win at everything. That's all. You can only try your best. Sometimes you're gonna win, sometimes you're gonna lose, and that's just life.
And you probably join the extracurricular activity to have fun and not only be like, oh, I need to do this perfect and do that perfect. You did it to have fun.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. You should not, if something's stressing you out, and like, I have to prove to my parents that I'm smart, I have to prove to them, then don't do it. Why are you doing it if it's gonna cause you so much stress? Just do something else, do something you're gonna enjoy.
Exactly.
Some
Like,
people do
don't
join
some-
to show
Don't
off.
do things like,
'Cause that's
I
just
try not
their-
to take part in too much
alley.
competition and all that stuff
Ellie,
because
ego.
Moment, he's speaking.
competition is never good, it causes tension, so you can choose not to do something just competitive or anything. There's a whole variety of extracurricular activities, you can find the one just right for yourself.
And I think that's part of finding yourself, finding what you like to do.
Chandra?
As Samita said, if you're really stressed out and it's your favorite activity, then you'll just be focused on that and not focus on the other thing, and you'll probably calm down.
So extracurricular activities can also cause competition between parents because they obviously want to show that their kids are the best and better than everyone else. So if they take this many extracurricular activities, they're going to brag to other parents, and then other parents are going to get down about it. They're going to yell at their children that they have to do more extracurricular activities.
be fair, a lot, like parents do that anyways. Like you don't have to be doing anything. Sometimes your parents will just say, "Oh, my kid got an A in this class. How about yours?" Like it just happens. Like
Yeah.
your parents are going to like show you off no matter what. If you're doing an extracurricular or not, if you're like doing bad in a class or not, like they're still gonna be like, "Yeah, my kid's better."
Extracurriculars, that adds to the list of reasons why they should brag to other parents.
Yeah, and yeah, as someone said in the beginning, like some people just involved just because they kind of competitive with other parents, like, oh, their kids take extracurricular, they want their kids to do it too. Like, so maybe just for no cause, good reason, just probably for.
Because it's all important that your kid does better than that Arjun's kid down the street.
Yeah.
But like joining an extracurricular activity such as like a sport or like a competition will teach you good sportsmanship.
As you guys said, if you don't have time to do your homework, you could do it first and then you could go to your class. Or if you have time between classes, like before your next class, you could do it.
The thing is, a lot of these points are ideals. You do your homework within classes. Well, who doesn't want to have a big chat with your friend? Well, I know, I'm sorry, we should have probably forgotten this. Time management. Yeah, time management, no procrastination. But I have one more Facebook post to go through. Just 2 seconds. And then you spend until you're up to 11 saying you're doing your homework because you spent 2 hours before looking at good funny cat memes.
But there's so many solutions to that. Like, for example, if something's distracting you, move away from it. And you don't have to keep doing your work all the time. You can take small 5-10 minutes break. Like, okay, I'll watch 5 minutes of this episode and then I'll go back to it.
So 5 minutes can become 10 minutes, it becomes an hour, and then it becomes longer and longer, and you keep getting distracted.
Because you can't pull yourself
Yeah.
away. Because you have to go back to work, and no one wants to work. Everyone wants to just, say, sit on the couch and watch football, or do whatever, but you have to pull yourself away, and that's, one of the hardest things to do.
And again, it teaches you that skill.
All right, kiddos, time to wrap it up. Come on, jazz hands. Okay, who's going to summarize it?
I'll start. So today we talked about why we think extracurricular activities are good, and I still think that they're good because it helps the child grow and expresses their freedom and confidence.
I think they're good because they get the child well-rounded, to explore their interests, they improve academics, and they also like to make contributions to the society. At the end, they generally make you a better person.
I definitely think extracurricular activities are really good. One, I'm going to take a quote from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Activities promote lifelong health and well-being and preventing various health conditions such as heart disease, cancer, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, I don't know that word, and obesity. And therefore, I think that having extracurricular activities is very important.
I think having extracurricular activities are very important because it's a way to, take out your stress. And for example, if you're doing boxing or something like that, it's a way to take out your anger. You can take out your emotions and you can put it into that passion and that hobby. And if you're really passionate about it, you can take it to the next level. So I feel like extracurricular activities are very essential.
I think extra activities are good because you have something else to do than just doing work, and you also have free time to do whatever you want. I think extracurricular activities are good. I change my mind.
I think
because you get time, you gotta take off, you gotta be with your friend, you can play sports, you can have fun.
I still think extracurriculars are bad because they put just a little too much stress and a little bit too much sleep loss on the child.
Listening to all of what you have to say. I'd say that extracurricular activities have some good and some bad. As with any argument, it's always two-faced, because there's always going to be something good about it and something bad about it. And yeah.
Well said. Adding on to the two-faced thing, it really depends on how your parents or how you try to mold yourself. On one hand, there's you. You can choose what you want, or you might be a little bit misguided, think you can handle too much, or you think you can't handle enough. Or your parents who give you the right amount you need, or too much or too little. So I really think it depends on just how much you think you can handle, and being able to judge correctly how much.
I think extracurricular activities are bad because sometimes you get too stressed out about like you have so much work to do and then you stay up late doing it and like it can really affect your health.
So before we end, I'd just like to say that the key to everything is just everything in moderation. Too much is bad, too little is also bad. You need to do just the right amount.
Handshake.
Yes, come on guys, give it a big hand now.
I guess we'll handshake too.
Okay, can we do one more handshake please?
Double hands.
Okay, now I'm going to close